You're going to filibuster, and I'm going to reclaim my time from you as well. Both of y'all talk pretty fast. No, I might add, in defense of Mr. Collins for a minute. It's very continuing. What President Trump says is it's very important that you do it if it's possible. Truncating again because it's so much in here, but I'll try to start mid-paragraph with Mr. Zelensky's reply. I'd also like and hope to see him having your trust. He's talking about an ambassador that he's sending to the United States, and your confidence, and have personal relations with you so we can cooperate even more so. I'll personally tell you that one of my assistants spoke with Mr. Giuliani just recently, and we're hoping very much that Mr. Giuliani will be able to travel to Ukraine, and we will meet once he comes to Ukraine. My question there is, meet about what when Giuliani comes to Ukraine? And the president just recently said that Giuliani is a good man and a patriot, and he's doing this for love. Last time I bought an airline ticket, I didn't present something that said love. And the question becomes, who's paying Giuliani? I have a theory about it, but I won't go into it. He then goes on to say, I just wanted to assure you once again that you have nobody but friends around us. I'll make sure that I surround myself with the best and most experienced people. He goes on at some point, so we can continue our strategic partnership. I also plan to surround myself with great people in addition to that investigation. I guarantee as the president of Ukraine that all the investigations will be done openly and candidly. That I can assure you. Then Trump says, good, because I heard you had a prosecutor, I think he's talking about Poroshenko, who was very good, and he was shut down, and that's really unfair. A lot of people are talking about that. The way they shut your very good prosecutor down, and you had some very bad people involved. Mr. Giuliani is a highly respected man. He was the mayor of New York City, a great mayor, and I'd like him to call you. I'll also, I will ask him to call you along with the Attorney General. Rudy very much knows what's happening, and he is a very capable guy. If you could speak to him, that would be great. The former ambassador from the United States, the woman, was bad news, and the people she was dealing with in the Ukraine were bad news. So I just wanted to let you know that. The other thing, there's a lot of talk about Biden's son, that Biden stopped the prosecution, and a lot of people want to find out about that. So whatever you can do with the Attorney General would be great. Biden went around bragging that he stopped the prosecution. So if you can look into it, it sounds horrible to me. Now then, Zelensky says, truncating again, that since we have won the absolute majority in person, my candidate, who will be approved by the parliament and will start as the new prosecutor in September, he or she will look into the situation, specifically to the company. And my guess is he's talking about Burisma in that particular incident, mentioned in this issue. The issue of the investigation of the case is actually the issue of making sure to restore the honesty, so we will take care of that and we'll work on the investigation of the case. On top of that, I'd kindly ask you if you have any additional information that you can provide us. It would be very helpful for the investigation to make sure that we administer justice in our country with regard to the ambassador to the United States from Ukraine. As far as I can recall, her name was Ivanovich. Now that lady didn't deserve President Trump commenting that she was going to go through some things, and I quote him. I'll have Mr. Giuliani give you a call. And I'm also going to have Attorney General Barr call, and we'll get to the bottom of it. I'm sure you'll figure it out. I heard the prosecutor was treated badly. Now, everybody in the European Union, friends of mine, knew that Poroshenko was a crook, and there's nobody in this room that does not know that, and Trump very well knew that, or should have, or had poor staffing during that period of time. I'm going to end here where he says, good. Well, thank you very much, and I appreciate that. I'll tell Rudy and Attorney General Barr to call. And I just can't believe that Perry and Sunderland and Rudy Giuliani, or whoever the three amigos were running around in Ukraine in some fashion, aside from the diplomatic responsibilities that we have with any country. And yes, Mr. Collins, we do have an FBI. We do have people that do investigations in foreign countries when there are commissions of crimes, and we don't use people running around. Otherwise, they could have used me. I was on the Intel Committee, and people could have asked me. I went to Ukraine. I did, after the Orange Revolution, the monitoring that led to them being able to stand up their government. And thanks to the Lithuanians and the Polish, along with Zbigniew Brzezinski at that time, that we were able to do that. And then I went back a second time to Ukraine to monitor their election. So I'm no rookie in this stuff. But when it comes to policy, what we have here is a corrupt president that wanted to do something to advance his political circumstances. And as the chairman said, that is so wrong. What say you, Mr. Ashton?
Well, first of all, I'm moved by your statements and also by your work for democracy and for freedom and anti-corruption in Europe. And I know that that's something that has been very important to you. The president essentially empowered and outsourced to the regular Department of State and National Security Council officials. And Rudy Giuliani, as you say, was at the heart of it. We have lots of testimony from witnesses who said whenever the president got some kind of report on Ukraine, he would say, talk to Rudy, talk to Rudy. In other words, Rudy's got the franchise on Ukraine. And we know what Rudy wanted to do is recently today we had an update on it. Rudy now puts himself front and center in the campaign to smear.
Fox News this morning.
He put himself front and center in the campaign to smear our ambassador, the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, who was fighting corruption, who is one of the world's leading anti-corruption fighters. And she understood that Ukraine had a chance here with the election of President Zelensky. And instead of bolstering Ukraine, helping them, getting the aid that we voted for them, aid that had been approved by the Department of Defense, having cleared all of the anti-corruption criteria that we had legislated, and the Department of State, which had done that, all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted, the money's set to go. The president holds it up, and then he puts this other team into action to engineer the shakedown against President Zelensky in order to get the political favor or the domestic political errand, as Dr. Fiona Hill said, that he wanted.
It is, in my judgment, a shame of what happened. And my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, I can't believe that they won't address the facts as you have just outlined them and as I have attempted to and as the chairman has. All they want to talk about is process. This ain't about process. This is about the president abusing his power. And you all will pardon me for not using my inside voice, but y'all don't either. I'll yield back, Mr. Chairman.
I'm happy to yield now to the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Woodall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rarely